at the War3Champions finals. $1,830 still in the prize pool, still missing that 2K, but we got a new sub by Mr. GN. 69 months.
Nice.
Also, Colorado, thank you for tuning in on your limited data plan in Nepal, I think. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you are doing well on your travel across the world that started in Raraland. I mean, you got the highlight at the beginning of your travel. Not too sure if that's too well planned, but hope you enjoy the other lands as well, the other countries as well.
Pretty cool. Nice. Pretty jealous, man. I always wanted to go to Nepal. I hope you're having a good time. Is it as tranquil as I imagine it to be? I hope it is.
Tranquil. Ooh. Give me PTSD with that word.
Because of tranquility?
Yes, that's what I meant. It's not a happy word for me, Remo Diva. It's not a happy word, okay? For some it is, but this game has ruined my brain.
Maybe we gotta travel to Nepal together, chill with the monks, and then you can finally overcome your keeper phobia.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, I gotta do some deep meditation to get over that. It's gonna be years of silence.
You and Slash together, maybe.
Yeah. An orc retreat.
An orc retreat, that's right.
All right.
No headhunters allowed, only blade masters.
Yes, exactly. Only orc mirror, that's all we play, and then we forget about the rest of it. But only human mirror today, and Vito's done. What do we end up on? Amazonia, Autumn Leaves, and Tidehunters starting on Autumn Leaves here, Sock vs. Chaemiko. So we get some different maps at least. Well, one different map at least.
All right. And we got also a €30 donation by Gatil. Thank you very, very much for that. We're ready for our admin Grinchy to kick off this game. It is the decider, the round of 12. Only the winner can advance into the top 8 next weekend. Sock versus Chaemiko. It is the best human in the world against the second best orc in the world. It's not an orc, it's a human. You guys confuse me with your Nepal talks. Let's start this already.
We're jumping in. We saw an attempted expansion from Hawk, which was then canceled in the last series. We saw tier 3 from both players. We saw tier 3 from one player that didn't work out. We saw 100 supply breakers. We saw 4 potions of invulnerability, but not 1 potion used. We saw it all, but maybe there's more to see. Sock vs. Chaemiko, the 2 best in the biz currently. Should be definitely a fun series.
Who's got the edge at the moment? I mean, the Warcraft scene always interested in that question. Who is the best given any of the 4 races? And Chaemiko and Sock, they have been neck and neck for a long time. It seems like most recently when we saw them play, perhaps Sock was looking a bit better. We saw also some games of his at Raraland, right? Especially the one against X12 stood out, which was amazing. Who do we favor here at the moment?
Hard to say. I think it's always sort of recency bias when it comes to these two because they're just so close together. Whoever has a better performance in the most recent tournament, we tend to favor. But in this matchup in particular, I don't know. Let me actually... I mean, we have the technology to check the stats. And they are... Okay, so Sock is favored overall, 56 versus 44%. That's pretty even, though. That's pretty even. At least that's what my stats say. But you know, I'm a big fan of Sock. You know this, Remo Demo.
I sure do. In fact, you used to say that he's your favorite player in the world for quite some time, even over Hitman. I hope that doesn't make Victor cry. But the last couple of encounters between them, pretty interesting. The last... What is that? 6 games of Human Mirror between the two was strongly in favor of Sock, with only 1 series going to Chaemiko. And most recently, in fact, this was today in the Starry Sky Cup earlier today, Sock defeated him with Orc 2-1.
You know, I want to chime in that it was also the match where Chaemiko was going for Dark Ranger second, and I hated every single second of that match. So please don't do that again, Chaemiko, and play like you played against Hawk.
Oh, was it the Dark Ranger Rifleman stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. He used to sometimes play that already a while back. I feel like it never really looked that good, honestly.
Yeah, I remember playing it when I was streaming Ladder one time, and somebody did that strat to me. I think after Chaemiko had done it for the first time, And I was just angry. Like, why is this guy doing this to me right now? And then afterwards, I realized it was like a kind of a standard strategy. But it's just super angry at that guy for going Dark Ranger. I might have lost as well. Just blind fear and anger the entire time. And it's the mystery of the strats. People are doing random heroes nowadays, Remo.
Crazy times we live in. Oh, we see a different creep route here. Normally on this map, both players go for the merchant creep first because you're left alone at the beginning. Nothing can really deal with you or bother you there. You get level 2 right away. You pick up 2 items because you buy the circlet as well. But Chaemiko going for a different creep route. Goes for the green first, which costs less militia time, and going for the corner creep route, the corner gold mine. Is he really going to fast expand here? This does not seem like the norm, I want to say.
Yeah, I'm wondering, with this creep route, can he get level 3 from the green to the right? That might be just barely off. He'll be like 2.9, and it's going to be tough for him to creep the shop with only a single water elemental and 4 footmen. I suppose it's doable, though. But, okay, he's going to go for it, and it seems to be an expansion. He's mining lumber there. And both players might expand, but the militia from Sock here, by the way, Claw's double circle for Sock as well, the militia could just be used for creeping.
Yeah, seems to me like Sock scouted the expansion and is willing to go into a 2-base game by the look of things so far. Next item picked up. Archmage with the cloak can also be quite helpful. We saw, in fact, how good that can be just a little while ago. Okay, Chaemiko can't explain either. Can't complain, I mean, either. Also, wonderful items. Gets level 3. Seems to be working with a very well-developed creep route here. Doesn't even finish the whole camp. Just picks up the item, gets perfectly level 3. And the famous Chaemiko blocks. Gonna lead to first blood here against the footies. But Sock shows up for the attack and
Town Hall
may even have the damage exactly to cancel the Town Hall. That would be devastating.
Oh my god, he's going to get it. That is a game-winning play potentially here from Sock. That's going to be a huge advantage for him with an expansion coming up behind. My god, and even saves the footman, even kills the footman himself. 2 water elementals on both sides now here. That is a massive play.
Yeah, that's really painful. It seems like Chaemiko needs to kill a lot more footies here of the opponent and then come up with a strong counterattack. Because in the meantime, the expansion for Sock is coming up. It's going to be finishing here in a couple of seconds. And also an arcane there should be finished soon. But Chaemiko is in a lot of trouble already.
Yeah, both players doing so much damage just attacking each other. I wonder, these trades are probably going to favor Sock because he's going to be the one with the resources to actually build that shop sooner, assuming Chaemiko still wants to expand himself. I doubt at this point he's going to attack. There's too much sunk cost at this stage. But Sock realizing Chaemiko, if he builds it again, he could just cancel it again with the next water elemental. So he's sticking around for as long as he can. Boots of speed going to be necessary on both sides with the ever-dwindling HP of these Archmages.
And only now we see the power build of the Town Hall once again coming in. So a lot of resources behind is Chaemiko, and that doesn't even cost the resource he lost from it being cancelled in the first place. So this indeed is very painful. But in the end, the expansion for him might finish. Sock is going to take a little while here before he becomes aggressive again, wants to heal up. Oh, that one footy could be really annoying if he cancels the healing. Which, doesn't quite manage to, loses the vision. All right, so Chaemiko far behind, right out the gate. It's going to be a tough game for him to come back, but I suppose not impossible.
It's going to be behind, not including the resources extra used to get that Town Hall. He's going to be behind only a couple of 100 gold in total at that gold mine. A few hundred, maybe. All right, 500, whatever. Who cares? He will be able to come back eventually. You know, what is gold at the end of the day but a number? But a pixel, Remo Demo. It's not just pixels to me.
This fake currency.
This is my life.
Second barracks here by Sock. Interesting.
Wow, yeah, that is crazy town. Is he really playing this gold advantage to that extent, where he's just gonna spam footmen for the time being?
Archmage so low here for Chaemiko. And again, a really good play by Sock attacking into the main base. This forces militia, this slows down the tech, where already he has the tech lead by quite an impressive margin. Archmage still suffering. Needs to get a shop up quickly. Kind of surprised Chaemiko didn't start one yet.
He's had the resources for quite a while. And peasants continue to be pressured, delaying the tech still a ton. I mean, is this a sort of game where you just pick up a panda and keep pressuring for Sock? He's hugely ahead in tech. He's hugely ahead in gold as well. And he's getting defend as well. That's an ambitious upgrade to get at this stage in the game.
Yeah, I feel like a panda could work out really well in 2-base versus 2-base. Normally, we will see tier 3 sooner or later, and I think it was all the way back Blade who showed how strong a panda second can be. That Breath of Fire over time, a lot of damage, oftentimes more than Stormbolt when priests and knights and maybe even mortar teams are involved in the very late game. Of course, MK also strong, but the panda timing advantage from the tavern is a big deal that Sock may want to go for here shortly.
Yeah, he would have a hero, assuming that Chaemiko goes for a Mountain King instead of a Panda, he'd have a hero, 3 minutes earlier? Something around there. So a crazy, crazy advantage on that second hero. Also a crazy advantage. He's going to have to break upkeep and spend all of his gold, though, just to get that Panda, but he'll probably be losing some footmen, I would wager, quite soon. +1 attack and improved lumber harvesting about to finish as well for Sock, who's kicking into high gear, but no Sanctums just yet, but this is definitely a strong timing.
Yeah, holding on to this push here is going to be very tough, especially if you get the militia involved. Of course, the Panda Breath of Fire is going to be the perfect answer to it. Wait, how many footies does Chaemiko have? Okay, he's got a couple at the expansion as well, dealing with the footy run by there, so he's got like 6 or 7. But the shop's going to fall, no more items from there. And Chaemiko, I think he's counting the seconds here until finally he reaches tier 2. I think he has to go for a Tavern Hero himself.
Yeah.
To just hold on.
Definitely, but he's going to have to probably give up all mining in the main base, Chaemiko, currently, because he's just going to lose every peasant if he stays here and fights. And all Sock needs is just the Panda and a couple of water elementals to zone out the footmen currently. All the militia are being called, so they might as well be dead currently if they're not mining. Defend online, the water elementals not getting much value any longer, and don't see any sanctions. We see a straight tier 3 for Sock.
And he calls for the GG even before the second hero comes out. Chaemiko with a fast expansion gets punished. Great play by Sock, got ahead early and knew exactly how to pressure there, keep on attacking, and submit Chaemiko in the end.
Yeah, it's, I'm wondering. The creep route really made a big difference, didn't it? Because the expansion was earlier, but really, if your opponent's level 3 is earlier and they're able to get across the map with that level 3, whereas you're forced to creep that extra camp in Chaemiko's situation, that's what allowed the Town Hall cancel, was the fact that Sock was on the map sooner, because he went for the easier expansion to creep that takes less time to creep and you still get level 3. So the Town Hall getting canceled, different creep route, that's really what translated in this massive, massive advantage. And yeah, double barracks footmen. I guess you just transition that into 2 barracks knights eventually. Pretty clean game, all things considered, and maybe that's going to deter Chaemiko from going for a 2-base sort of game in the future, because he looks so good in just pure breaker mirror against Hawk. Nice. You don't have to type anything actually, too. But hey, we like to hear from you guys. So whether it's random text or one letter, a smiley face, it's all appreciated.
And I was muted, so sorry, Sir Samsa. Sorry, Obson. I just read your contributions and I asked you guys if you are in favor of Chaemiko to turn this around, or yes, or if you want Sock to win this 2-0. Back to Mutecraft. Come on, has to happen every once in a while.
Yeah, well, once per tournament, bare minimum, right? It's good. It's good.
I mean, as long as we are not mute ourselves for 15 minutes, it's all good.
Hey,
wait, has that happened?
No,
it was 12 minutes. Okay, it was 12 minutes.
Oh, on a solo cast? I've done that before by accident. Yeah,
we've all been there. We've all been there.
Yeah.
That's what chat gets when they annoy us so much that we don't read chat anymore, right? So there we go.
Sure.
But we are not to the slightest annoyed because our chat is pretty damn amazing today, and so are our plays. Between the players, we got Human Mirror number 5 match points for Sock to advance into the round of 8.
Oh, joy.
Yes, sir.
Amazonia.
Let's go.
Love this one. Love this map so much, right?
We do, don't we?
Yeah.
Ah, what a map. This is, wait a minute. Is this the last time we're going to see AZ in W3Champions finals? Is it part?
Maybe,
No,
yeah.
wait. Wait, is it part of the next,
It's still in the
of the
pool.
next season?
It's still in the pool.
Yuck. Gross. Why would they do that?
Because the play rate is actually quite good.
Yeah, there's a
I
lot of
know.
night elves on ladder, that's why.
There sure are, aren't there?
Yeah.
Well, I am happy to say that quite a few tournaments have started phasing this map out, and perhaps we're gonna get there one day with ladder. Anyways, Amazonia, yeah, of course, one of the smaller maps in the pool, one of the very smallest. Also, quite hard to expand on here. So normally we're gonna see heavy creeping at the beginning, try to get that level 3 tech up, and then the big decision comes on tier 2, I want to say, whether the players want to expand or not. Oftentimes comes down to player preference. I remember back in the Dizzy, when Infi was playing still a lot of Human Mirror, he would always try to go for that tier 2 expansion. I want to say Sock might be expected to be a bit more aggressive against it. If I had to... Wait a minute. Oh my god, is he really... Wait a minute! Is he going for an instant gold mine creep? What is going on? Since when did they do that?
Yeah, this is, again, a situation where Sock can, although it was Chaemiko doing this last game, Sock can get that Town Hall being built very, very early, but Chaemiko is going to be able to get level 3, no problem at all. So he might just be able to run straight across the map with that possible level advantage, and maybe even get a cancel, if not some serious damage done.
Alright, the pull, of course, prevents all the boulders and slows and also ensnares from being used. How much can this harassing footy do? So far, Sock is dealing with it quite well. If he gets lasted, it would be a huge disaster, but very difficult to land. One of mana stealing early on, I want to say quite good. This could make the difference with 1 or 2 water elementals between the 2 summoner heroes.
Oh,
but yeah,
no.
the level 3 is the concern. Chaemiko could go for it quite easily, and the items already are insane.
Yeah, that's why I say, oh no. If he gets another clause, I think Chaemiko just wins right here. Honestly, if he gets another clause right here, he can just call Militia, creep that green Murloc, run across the map, and just win the game, most likely.
Big
But he's got to get the experience here.
Big last hit. Oh, he got it. No, wait. Did he get it?
Yeah, Chaemiko did get it.
Chaemiko gets it. All right, importantly. Puts damage on the Archmage. I like that. Sock needs to pressure this Archmage right away because he's going to be too dangerous. He's going to throw out too much damage, so forcing him to half HP already is valuable. And, yeah, Sock got the item, got the ring. That's not the greatest one, of course, for him. But with 1 of mana stealing now, he can prevent the next Watch Elemental for quite some time.
Yeah, and we see the value now. Oh, both Archmage hold that thought.
Oof.
Very, very low. Of course, Claws and Mantle going to make the difference here. This is a scary, scary, scary situation if you're Chaemiko, because you need to be the one pressuring. Footman going to go down. But we see the value of Sock going aggressive there. If he just allows Chaemiko to get level 3 for free, he would have probably gotten that Town Hall cancel right there. So really, really nice pressure there at the Cobalt for Sock, but both players going to struggle to just not die here.
Yeah, Sock far from out of the woods. He's going to be down a level, which is going to be a really big deal. Would love for him to go for a Shadow Priest, pull the Merc camp, but I think intentionally Chaemiko is leaving units around the corner here to prevent that if he can.
Archmage?
Uh-oh, we'll need to TP. What?
Just a TP, and that's just game? He's going to lose all the peasants right now.
Yeah.
Every single peasant.
Yeah, this game's over.
There's
I
no
think
way
he
he's not
thought
gonna
he
get
would
Town
be... I think he thought he would be able to sustain 1 more hit and TP out after that 1 attack, but nope, too much damage, +8.
Okay, back from the tavern, of course, needed to continue this game. Sock has done huge comebacks in the past, but this would be massive, massive, massive. The tier 2 is almost done, and then we're obviously going to see a Panda. Going to see double Sanctum. Could even, I guess we could see a Blood Mage. That's probably the most common response to a Fast Expo. Blood Mage and some Masked Caster play with an all-in, but for now, you don't really need to all-in when the Town Hall isn't even mining, do you?
Yeah, the 2 Water Elementals over there, so strong, doing tons of damage. Still, quite a few footies involved as well. They're going to get pulled back, perhaps going to start getting healed up. And whew, what a rough early game it was. And yeah, a good reminder of why expanding on this map can be quite hard.
Mage, is he going to dive in? He's going to try to force that TP. Gold Peasants pulled. Footman blocking to the south part of the mine. He just can't get back there. He realizes now that he's screwed up. Oh, no, never mind. TP going to be pulled, though. Okay, he does TP. Wait, is he just going to run out? Potion is needed. Probably. Okay, potion used. That was a crazy play. Sock, I can't believe he got out of there.
Pretty stressful, pretty hectic. All right, Sock is mining once again at the expansion, but the tower's still far from finished. And, all right, he's going to call it. He knows the second hero is coming, and everything was about to turn south. If he gets the TP there in time, I wonder, can he still win that game? It feels like even if he TPs out and doesn't lose the hero, I feel like he's still going to get pressured down.
Yeah, the items are pretty crazy from the beginning. And, yeah, 2 quick ones. I already know I'm getting there on the perfect line. Quite a quick series compared to the last.
Indeed, 1-1. We spent 1.5 hours with the last one, and now we have a decider match to our hands. Autumn Leaves goes to Sock, AZ goes to Chaemiko, and we decide everything on Tidewater Hunters. My absolute favorite map for Human Mirror, especially when level 6 Archmages are involved. And that's my wish for the upcoming match. 30 minutes, 35, lots of mass teleport. Dot.
Yeah, but
exclamation mark.
If it takes 6 minutes, we're perfectly on schedule, though, Neo. What about that?
I don't care about schedules. I want games. I want to bring entertainment to the people.
True,
you just want to go back to bed, don't you?
There'll be no sleep today. There'll be no sleep. I got to go to a show later on. But I do think this kind of shows the dichotomy of Human Mirror. We have sometimes when both players get their expo up, you get 100 supply breakers. The fights are 12 minutes long. The games are 35 minutes. Lots of ultimates. That happens if both players don't just get owned in the early game. But what also could happen is we have short games like this where just disaster strikes in the first 4 minutes. Human Mirror goes one way or the other. Epic games or one player gets owned. It's always how it goes. So we're really seeing both sides.
Well, let's see who's getting owned, or if we get an epic classic between Chaemiko and Sock. Winner goes into the round of 8.
Alrighty. This map, normally pretty good for fast expanding with a safe level 2 and almost also level 3 creep route, easy expansion to take. However, no mercs on this map, which would make it the perfect fast expansion map, like we see on LR and Echo Isles, for example, in Human Mirror. So that leaves us with the question, are we going to see a fast expansion this time around, or have the players touched the fire and gotten burned and now dislike the option? Because both fast expansions, if you will, have failed.
Yeah, this map, I'm trying to think of every other map, the level 3 creep routes. With this map, with the lab pull into the green turtle, into calling militia and split creeping the orange, that might be the fastest level 3 you can get. And if you go for the expansion right away, you're not going to be level 3. So I do wonder how that plays. If one player immediately goes for the fastest possible level 3 route and the other player goes for the expo, how the defending player is able to overcome the level 2 water elementals that they certainly don't have.
Yeah, I suppose the big problem with going fast expo is not being able to go for the lab creep, which seemed to be the favorite creep route for quite some time here. It's so much experience, it is so rewarding, and if you get like a Sobi mask or a Robe of the Magi, it's so good. It's such an insane start into the game. So I suppose it's hard to say no to that, and that may lead us then once again more into one base play and tier 2 tech with both footies positioned at the lab. Yeah, that was, I guess, to be expected.
You could late expo, I suppose. That's not unheard of. I think the only time you need to necessarily immediately expand is against Night Elf. But in this matchup, I think you can get away with it as long as you avoid the Town Hall cancel, like on Autumn Leaves. But for now, we're just going to play a little bit of roulette. The items can tell the story of the game like they did last game, and we'll see what these two players get.
Yeah, this is such a big deal. It can oftentimes feel a bit unfair. If one player gets the belt and the other gets the robe, it is not exactly even. The robe most likely the very best item, but there's plenty of good ones to grab here. Quel'Thala's boots for Chaemiko, that's just a bit of attack speed. Alright, and we keep it even.
Yep. Alright, we've seen a lot of bad items from these labs today. I think we saw a belt, Quel'Thalas earlier. in Chaemiko versus Hawk, and now double Quel'Tha Loss. So, honestly, kind of preferred. Hey, I have a question for you. Belt or Quel'Tha Loss? What's better here? I say Quel'Tha Loss.
Oh, yeah. I think they're better. I think on tier 2, the belt's way better because it's actually really good for MK.
Right.
But for the early game... Wow, these are some trash items. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God. Okay, Circlet could be fought over here at the shop if they wanted to purchase it, but you would have to soak up a little bit of damage on the Archmage to get it, so not going to be what they do. Chaemiko with a low footman is just sort of going to lose it. All right.
All right. Losing track there of his footman. Normally, Chaemiko known for having excellent footy control. Next item going to be picked up. Finally, we find a good one here with the claws. +5 for Sock. Already Militia out and creeping for Chaemiko, gathering more experience. This slows down his tech by a decent amount, but the level 3 here now is super valuable.
I'm surprised that Chaemiko didn't pay more attention to that footman earlier on. He possibly could have avoided that getting denied if he killed it while it was still slowed, but Militia going to get to level 3. Marketplace open, and there's a mantle there, which is purchased immediately for Saku's Archmage. Isn't looking too bad.
Chaemiko keeps both items, the cloak and the Quel'Tha Loss boots, values them for now, and has started the tech, and is going to go over for the attack into the main base. He knows he has the level advantage, and Sok is... Where's he going? He's not coming home to defend.
Very late, and the double tower, by the way, for Sok as well. This is 1 tower away from the Mr. Winner strategy, but the repair is good. And the Militia are better. And now Sok is going in for the counterattack, but with 2 footmen.
What? This is looking weird. This is looking real strange. But I guess it was smart by Sok. He knew that parallel creeping was happening, so he knew that the peasants across the map for his opponent were hurt. So here he can find some kills. But it would seem like Chaemiko can do more, or can he? Wait a minute. Is Sok the genius? And we are just playing checkers and he's playing chess? Because this might work out in the end.
Yeah, he's actually, I think, done, except for the Militia call time, he's done about equal damage in terms of kills. And he's doing more damage to Chaemiko's Archmage at the same time. So if Chaemiko decides to town portal, Sok's going to be favored in that exchange. And yeah, another peasant goes down, more Militia call time. And Sok, I believe, pulls ahead.
New Water Elemental ready for Chaemiko, summons that one, again pressuring the footies, but enough time was bought for another Arcane to be ready in the main base, and I am amazed at how well this is working out for Sok. I thought with him abandoning the main base with his Archmage, I thought it was going to get shafted, but
yeah.
No. Excellent understanding and game sense here by Sok.
Couple footmen are going to be fed. We're going to have probably level 4 Archmage very, very early into this game. And tier 2, quite early for Sok as well, who's probably going to go for the Mountain King this game, I would have to imagine. We'll find out in about 1 second. And for Chaemiko, his tech will be following very, very soon. Oh, it will be Panda. He's waiting. He's not building it yet.
The player's forces are under attack.
Moving towards the tavern. He's got the resources now. Well, might still be an MK. We'll see in a second. Archmage again getting pressured. All right, once again, aggressive early game like we see in Human Mirror quite often. I think always important to keep in mind is how many lumber peasants have survived, and for Chaemiko that's only 5, which means going for any kind of expansion, any timing is going to be super tough to do.
Yeah, nearly impossible really, unless, I mean, labs are open, so Shredder, and then that's it pretty much, and then you pretty much just can't build buildings, but which you kind of need a couple to build farms, of course, but for now, Mountain King, it's just late. Kind of just forgotten about for Sok, unless he was unsure whether or not he needed the Panda, what kind of game it was going to be. But yeah, his Mountain King is behind Chaemiko's, and Chaemiko's tech was like 15 seconds behind as well.
Yeah, perhaps he felt like he needed the Sanctum first. But normally the MK seems to be the most important in terms of timing.
Yeah.
To either look for kills or start creeping. Yeah, that seems to be a bit of a mistake, but all things considered, I would still say Sok is looking favored, especially because of the peasant count on lumber. But if Sok doesn't manage to get up his own expansion, this still looks like a very even game.
Elemental blocking that Mountain King a little bit. Shop being pressured, of course, needed for breakers. Archmage that once had terrible items now is kind of a powerhouse here. No deny, though, despite the extra damage. And Mountain King is going to get a slight XP advantage now for Sock, who saved his Sea Giant camp, which is a nice boost to the experience.
Absolutely. High-level Mountain King, of course, going to be crucial in the late game. This is what is going to be the most potent source of damage. Close to level 2, more claws. This AM is going to be super stacked.
And you can always pass the boots over, which is pretty standard. And then that Archmage is a beast. Even passes Quest Loss, more armor. Good for the higher HP hero, of course. That is how armor works. And both players, as you mentioned earlier, definitely correctly, expansion's going to be tough. So you end up in this sort of weird game where you're like, should I just go tier 3 because it's one base? Or, you know, am I worried they're going to still expand? Because you never know exactly how much lumber your opponent actually has if they have the ability to get that expansion, if you don't.
Shout out to Zoc, by the way, for moving his peasants over to the lumber mill for more efficient lumber harvesting. I appreciate that. But everybody keeps that in mind. And yeah, his lumber's going to be looking way, way better. We see it already, which has only upsides, whether it's for tier 3 or for the expansion or just for blacksmith upgrades. This is a clear lead for Zoc.
Yeah, the standard timing for expanding would have been 20 seconds ago, maybe, but it doesn't mean they still can't do it. But for now, Chaemiko going to continue to pressure. Level 4 Archmage is a nice advantage, but behind on a Mountain King level. Push and Vulnerability was purchased. Footman going to go down for Sock. Priest going to go down for Chaemiko. Both losing one Priest now. Militia called. And this Mountain King hungry for a couple of more kills, but only has one Stormbolt.
Here we see the strength of the MK, of course. If you had a Panda, it would be way harder to find these kills. The Stormbolt pick-off potential in the mid-game. Absolutely crucial in the human mirror. And now we're muscling up. We're getting ready for breakers. Would expect a blacksmith soon to 150 supply at the very least, and maybe even push into upkeep quickly. Lots of creeps on this map, so having a big army to bully your opponent can be very valuable.
Yeah, and of course every level up is valuable as well. Level 5 Archmage, level 6 Archmage, always a possibility, and Bash is nice in Breaker Mirror. Every Stormbolt upgrade is always excellent, so creeping is nice, especially on the bottom left of this map where you can get tons of consumables. 3 of them available down here. But for now, just small camps being taken. Level 4 is achieved for both Archmages. And a lot of footmen left to be Stormbolted. There's one possibly going to go down to the Mountain King of Sock.
At the moment, we have a 2-level lead on the MK. That is outrageous. And even if the level 2 is going to be acquired here for Chaemiko, that doesn't seem like he's in any shape in any position to really take a fight here. He's going to get that level 2 finally, but still, this MK of his is looking way, way weaker. Tough position for Chaemiko. The only upside for him is he has the Invul Potion. Maybe thinking about a hero surround could be a play, but without breakers yet, also hard to do. And Sock is playing this beautifully. He knows he's ahead. He's pressuring in the south, and Chaemiko has to contest him. There's no way Chaemiko can just leave him and give all these camps away for free. And behind that, all the way across the map, he's expanding. And Sock is getting very, very far ahead now indeed with that.
Yeah, picture-perfect play. Realizing the advantage he has in the MK levels and playing it perfectly. Yeah, like you said, like all Sock has to do, he doesn't even have to take the camps, even though he could. He just has to pull the camps, say, I'm going to creep this, I'm going to creep this, I'm going to creep the whole part of the map. And the longer he does that for, the more he's going to mine from this expansion that's going to be up in a couple of seconds here. So Sock just has to do this for another 30 seconds, another minute, and he's probably got this one in the bag guaranteed.
He's playing this beautifully. Hitting all the right beats here. Also going for a blacksmith now. He's going to be ready to go into upkeep in just a moment. MK's finding more and more kills. Still got plenty of mana. MK close to level 4 already. Insane progress here on the MK for Sock. Chaemiko needs to find some big plays. The hero kill is still perhaps his best bet, trying to go for the MK now, but doesn't get the surround, and there's still items to protect him as well.
Both players being focused on the Mountain King. One has a Health Stone, one has Push and Vulnerability, and the Cloak, but Reveal always going to be available. Push and Vulnerability not used again. Chaemiko seems to be a common mistake for him today, and is that going to seal the deal? That's odd. An odd mistake there.
Yeah, already he was behind. That hero loss hurts all the more now. And the expansion is now standing. Sock can pump like crazy from 3 production buildings even if he wants. Could perhaps even throw in a couple of footies. The MK is still super strong. looking for more kills, close to level 4. And Chaemiko's just going through the motion. Sokka's going through the motions here. This should be an easy cleanup for him now.
A couple of priests going down. Maybe that's where the attention was for Chaemiko when he missed the potion of vulnerability. And 3 priests going to go down. Nice kills for Chaemiko, but he does not, I don't think, realize it's an expansion yet. Illusion going to go scout and confirm now. But he definitely needs to get a counter expansion or do some serious damage right now. And Sok getting upgrades, and he's going to be breaking upkeep for sure in no time. Scouts the expo and calls for the GG, and Sok gets the 2-1.
A little bit of an underwhelming series in comparison to Hawk and Chaemiko, but unfortunately Sok didn't leave Chaemiko much of a chance, except on Amazonia, where this expansion didn't pay off. Here, Sok was in full control pretty much the entire game. He made the better decision. We were all a little bit confused if that is the right call, but I guess Sok knows this matchup better than almost anybody on the planet, and his trades were better. He accelerated faster into tier 2, and that Mountain King advantage was too hard to catch up from. And then that base advantage, way too hard to catch up from. Poor Chaemiko. Great first series, but here Sok was just a better player and is in the round of 8 now.
Yep. He worked so hard in that first series as well, but yeah, we asked the question of who is going to be stronger between the two of them today, and this doesn't necessarily prove who's stronger overall, but in Human Mirror, definitely seems to be Sok. And if you're a fan of Human Mirror, well, we might have a little bit more, but first we got to get through potentially the best matchup in the entire game of all time. Human versus Night Elf. Ooh.
Not Human Mirror? No.
What's the other one? Sorry, you lagged.
Oh.
Not Human what?
Not Human Mirror, the best matchup in the history of this game?
Sometimes. Definitely has some of the best games of all time. Better than Night Elf Mirror. There's been more epic Human Mirrors than Night Elf Mirror, even though I do like Night Elf Mirror.
I was just joking. Yeah, man, Foggy versus Fortitude is pretty much a classic. These guys battled each other in Shanghai in 2015, 2016 when Foggy was conquering China. These were wild games. And now we play them online because we damn can, thanks to War3Champions. And this is what we're celebrating here, the community run server W3C. We boost the prize pool. Thank you, Chris, for the $10 donation, less than 3. Das 13, after all these years, still watching us. And TumTum with a big $20. I hope you're not hungover from the party yesterday. Hope you had a great evening, despite not spending it online. So we're $140 away from the big 2K. That's my goal for today, everybody. Crack 'em! We got profile pictures for you. You can represent your race and the legends of all your races for just $5. Undeads represented by Happy Madfrog 120 Ted, Lucifer 4th, Sweet, and of course Space. The Orcs, Lynn, Zakard, Grubby, Fly, Who, Focus, Lucifron, and Dayfly. The Humans, Infi TH, Todd, Sky, Heeman, Yumiko, Insomnia, Mew, and the Night Elves represented by Remind, Creo, Moon, Check, Deadman, Lawlight, and Soju. Grab them while they're hot, only available until the end of the War3Champions finals next Sunday. And so far, guys, we got a perfect race distribution. We got an Undead in Labyrinth, we got an Orc in Soin, and now we got a Human in Sok. Will we get Foggy as the next Night Elf to close out that perfect balance? Will we have China finally qualifying, as they took quite a beating yesterday? Or will it... No, it won't be all Koreans because there's no Korean in this next round. Or will it be a multiple race player in Starbuck? This is the bracket for the rest of the day. Foggy versus Fortitude, and then the winner faces Starbuck. Quite a banger grid, if you ask me. But Carson, if people ask you what the best thing about War3Champions is and why we are celebrating this server so hard when there is native BattleNet, what do you tell them?
Well, definitely, for me, my answer would be similar to Remo Dima's, and that would be Flow TV. That's something I was looking forward to for a long time, and I'm excited it's here now. Also, the fact that it auto-saves replays when you watch is pretty sick. But for sake of saying something different, I would say now me being an NA guy and, you know, us having to mix with other regions when we play tournaments, having the ping equalization so that everything is always the fairest possible conditions, literally the fairest possible conditions because they've got the same exact ping. I would say that's a sweet new feature that we have. So when we look at a tournament, when we cast a tournament, we don't have to front as though, you know, maybe one player doesn't have an advantage, because we've certainly had the case where pings have been, you know, 150 versus 50 in the past, and there's no possible way to get it even. But nowadays, both players are always going to have the same ping wherever possible, and both players are always going to have good conditions. So that is my favorite new feature.
All right, that is indeed a very good feature. All the games are on Flow TV, as Remo just said. And we got servers all across the world, so Blizzard might never serve the people in South America or never serve the people in Oceania. W3Champions does, and 28 servers around the globe. The perfect conditions for all the skill ranges, whether you're a grandmaster like the players here you're on screen, or if you're like an amateur like me, or even worse, I don't care. W3Champions is the playground for all of us. We take a little break and then we start into the second set of the bracket with Foggy and 40.